Hi, I'm Kenneth Tapia, and I'm here with the lovely
Macy Frankie.
After 3 years of hiatus, we are back with OC Live.
All the segments on our show today are produced and created solely by students here at Oxnard College. Our first student package was produced by Peter Garcia. It's called Church in the Alley. Please enjoy.
Around the world, religions and faiths are practiced and celebrated throughout towns, communities, cities, and nations. These faiths have a specific day in particular in which they will celebrate their belief in their God. In the nation of Islam, Muslims will celebrate Quba on Fridays. In the nation of Israel and Jews around the world, they'll celebrate their Sabbath on Saturdays. Catholics around the world will celebrate Mass on Sundays. Christians have church. In Ventura County, there are over 274 churches. Oxnard has 153 of them in various denominations. But with all these places of people, the faiths to celebrate, they often ignore an invisible group of the unwanted, the homeless. So, where do the homeless go?
It's the time to worship. Now is the time to give your heart, just as you want to worship.
God spoke to me and said, you need to do church here. See, God understands. I'm a man. Monosyllabic words, simple sentences, works great with me. So on the way home from feeding with this other church, Kate's sitting next to me and I kind of elbow her in the car. I said, you're going to think I'm nuts, but God said we need to start a church here. And she said, shut up. God, I heard that too. Crazy, because they never had a church here. They never had anything here. They had chapels. There was no church. Carol, this is crazy, but God told us that we're supposed to do church. She says, get out of here. I heard it Saturday too. So all these people come from LA, they come from Thousand Oaks, they come from Ojai, and no one gets a salary in this church. No one. I've never had a salaried position doing church because I've got 10 jobs. But all these people come in and like what they see and want to contribute to the Great Commission. And that's 2009. And we've been here every Sunday since.
So it's not traditional in the sense of buildings and maybe programs and a weekly Bible study, but it's traditional in the sense that Jesus is here every Sunday, that His word is being spoken, that encouragement and love is poured out on every person, that we worship and we pray and we believe in the miraculous. And so in that we are a church.
Well, because one of the questions that came up with, and I asked you this before, is regarding the lunch that you put on. That's food. That costs money. That can't be just donated. Consistently, once in a while I understand, but you do this every first Saturday of the month. How do you bring that food in? Who gives it to you?
We buy it.
You buy it.
That's the first Saturday of every month, Peter's our $1,200 weekend. We buy 1,200 pieces of chicken from Vons. They give us a discount. It used to be Albertsons, but they closed up. And that's what we spend. Where does homeless people get $1,200 a month? Aside from all the other things that Kate told you about, that we take care of. It's Jesus with the loaves and fishes. That's it. We haven't missed in our 7 years. One, we have not had any problems with funding. I can't explain it. I mean, we'll bring home offerings sometimes with 75 cents in the jar. And yet we're okay. We always are okay. So we just give it away. And like I said, no one draws a salary here. We don't have a building. So it's very Book of Acts type church here in low overhead Oxnard. And we can get away with it. And we do.
Do you talk to businesses outside of this to find other means for people to donate? Through Foursquare, I assume?
Well, no, not through Foursquare.
No?
No, we don't get really much from them. And I'm not dissing them, we just don't. But there have been people that are very successful in business and stuff, show up once. And the next thing you know, we'll get a $5,000 check or a $10,000 check. It's happened. And they just say, really like what you're doing. You guys are you're about the only real deal. Well, why aren't you coming here? And then they kind of get quiet. You know.
Well, that's typical minister talk, aren't you here?
Well, you know, I mean, you'd think if you were writing that big of a check, and that's big money to me, gosh, you'd like to see what's happening. But there are some other people who, and the internet, believe it or not, we have a website, churchinthealley.org, and people go to that, and they like what they see, and they send money through PayPal. We've gotten money from people I don't even know.
One of the things I wanted to know if you wanted to build this further. You told me once before in passing, you wanted to shut this down. You're just like, oh, you know, this is done. I've done a few people's services. I feel good. Now it's time to. But you haven't.
Yeah.
What's been pushing you to keep going?
Well, let me clarify what you just said, Peter. It's not that I want to shut it down because it runs its course. I would like to shut down this rescue mission, not because funds run out or something like that, that there's no need. Mm-hmm. You know, this church came out of the whole premise that these folks that are attending here, and I'll even throw myself and Kate in this thing, you know, we're kind of like the misfit toys. Not readily accepted by more traditional churches. And if they would have accepted this all in the first place, this place wouldn't be here. So when I say I'd like to close it down, it would be just that everybody is back integrated. And I'd like to answer Jesus' prayer, his only unanswered one, by the way, of unity in the church with the capital C. If we would have had that in the first place, there would be no need for this. We'd all be, but it's not. So I think it fills a need. Mm-hmm. And when that need is fulfilled, number one. Number two is to get the word out, is that when you say homeless people, you're throwing a jacket on people. It's kind of like bald men or fill in the blank, anything like that. But these are people fundamentally. And you may think that you don't have anything in common with people, but guess what? God created us all. So the circumstances of someone being homeless are just that. Yes, there are people that love it. Okay, that's a life choice, good for you. We don't want to enable that because there's better things for you. But a lot of people fall in hard circumstances and hard times, and the homelessness becomes like the forefront thing as people we like to classify. If anything comes good out of this video is that when you see someone holding a sign up on the freeway exit, or if somebody asks you for some food, you look and see a person and not a condition. That would be the biggest thing that I could hope that this video does, is that just like you, they want to be loved, they want to succeed, they want to be taken care of. All of these things we all share. And if you can look beyond the condition and the circumstances and look at the person, that would be awesome. Now we're really building disciples and building what the Great Commission calls for, because we're looking beyond it. Not financial strata, color of skin, any of that. You're my brother, you're my sister. Jesus said, love the Father, love your neighbor as yourself. All you need is love, as the disciples John and Paul said.
Absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed that segment, Church in the Alley. We look forward to seeing more work from you, Peter.
Our next work is by Jesus Covarrubias, called Oxnard College Park Sunday Soccer League. And if you love soccer, you can enjoy this segment.
Tigres FC and Camarillo Aztecs squared off in the Ventura County Premier League final. We were then able to catch up with Tigres players and ask them what keeps them coming to play on Sundays.
Things that keep me coming back, but one main reason is I like to play, with the guys. You know, I just met them, but they're a great set of guys, and the league's nice.
Just from all the week of practice, see if it pays off, hopefully get a win.
As the game kicked off, Camarillo Aztecs were able to get off to a very early 1-0 lead. We asked players what they would be doing if not playing soccer on Sundays.
Stay from work, so just come back to reality. Honestly, I wouldn't know what I would do.
I'd probably be home doing something lazy.
Right before halftime, Tigres FC were able to fight back and tie up the game. We then went ahead and asked if the players would keep playing in the Ventura County Premier League.
Yeah, as long as the league keeps doing what they're doing, I'm pretty sure I would be still playing.
Well, ever since I can remember, I've been playing, so if I don't play in the future, I see myself coaching definitely.
As the game restarted in the second half, the intensity of the game took over both teams. Unfortunately for the Camarillo Aztecs, 2 second-half goals from Tigres captain Humberto Torres were too much to surpass. We caught up with Torres as he gave us strongly felt words on the love and respect he has for his team.
Well, the discipline that my teammates have, and once we get on the field, that we're friends and we're teammates, and they like to hear what I have to say. So they respect all the decisions that we make as a team, and everybody's discipline helps a lot. So it makes me feel good to consider myself the leader of the team.
We would love to congratulate the Tigres FC organization on a first place championship and also the Ventura County Premier League on a great season.
Now, wasn't that fun? Now, if you're looking for something to do on a Sunday afternoon, go ahead and support your Sunday soccer league.
Well, on a more serious note, our next segment is by Desiree Lopez. Let's listen as she explains the importance of the Museum of Tolerance.
What did you take away from your experience?
I remember when I was at the museum, there was a guest speaker, someone who went through the Holocaust, and everything that she talked about, how she lost her freedoms and her will and her hope to survive. As humans, it's important to have hope.
It was probably like the first or second level, like at the beginning. And so we went down there and then we walked around, and I guess we went into this room and it divided the people. It said men, and then the other tunnel said women and children. And so, I went down the women and children one. It led to the same place. Anywho, it went to this room and it looked like it was like all made out of cement. It was really hot. Like when you walked in, it like bam, it hit you. It was hot up in there, really hot. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching like the video and stuff, and then I'm like, why does this look like all cemented and stuff, and it's like hot in here? And I was just like sitting there, and then like bam, it hit me. I was in a replicated gas chamber. It's ridiculous.
Well, I watched this like documentary on a boy who his mother gave him to someone who wasn't Jewish, so that way he would live, and he ended up finding his family like years later.
How did you feel after?
I felt sad because when you go through the exhibits and you're learning about all these things that you never knew because it happened in a different part of the world and so long ago, but yet it still exists. Hate still exists in this world.
Sad. I felt sad because who in their right mind would want to do that to people? That's ridiculous. That was messed up. That was messed up.
Would you recommend going to any museum like this?
Yeah.
Yes, because it was a great learning experience.
Would I recommend for other people to go to the museum? Yeah. Like, you learn a lot. I learned a lot, though, yeah. Like, all seriousness, yeah.
Do you think that it's important for them to keep this and for students to go?
Yes, I feel like it's important to know what happened, to really feel what they felt. Because the Museum of Tolerance, the way things are set up and walking through the gas chambers, you really get the feel of like what they went through, you know, and I think it's just a great learning experience for anyone of any age to go.
Yeah, I mean, you've learned a lot of cool stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff you probably didn't know, and then if you're lucky, you'll go on one of the days where people who experience the Holocaust, they come and they talk to you.
Do you recommend that students go and that it'd be like part of the junior high school experience?
I feel like now people should because Trump, and I feel like they should know how to handle certain situations now because it's starting to come back, especially if you're Muslim.
Can you elaborate a little more?
Well, besides the fact that Trump is very racist, that he wants to get rid of Muslims, even though Muslim is a religion, am I right?
Yes, yes it is.
Kind of like Hitler with Jews. Correlates.
You see a pattern going on here.
Life patterns. History does repeat itself.
As you can see, while it may be old history, it can still be relevant to today. If you haven't been there yet, I highly suggest checking it out.
So our next segment is also by Desiree Lopez about the Literature and Arts Lecture Series on Oxnard campus.
Be sure to catch it. It's hosted by Professor Shelley Savrin.
I'm Shelley Savrin, and I'm the coordinator for the Oxnard College Literature, Arts, and Lecture Series.
All right, and I just had a few questions. How did you get this program started?
I started this when I first got hired in, I got hired in 1992, so about a year later, I asked several of faculty members if they'd like to come to an auditorium, not this beautiful one, we didn't have that then, but just it was a classroom lecture hall, and present something at noon, for about an hour. And it was very informal, and we told students about it, and I made up little flyers, and we got little crowds. And so it started very small like that, and then I started to invite poets to come, and I managed to get a little bit of funding for them from Poets and Writers Incorporated. And after that, I opened it up to the 3 campuses to get presenters, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I would get little pieces of funding over the years. And this is the history, basically. Maybe 10 years ago, they came up with a position of a facilitatorship. The program got so big that I couldn't do the whole program and do my teaching load, and so they created a position of facilitatorship. And so I was doing that, and then when I retired, they converted it, they institutionalized the whole program. They converted it into a position, my position, into one of a professional expert, and they funded it really nicely so that I could get famous people to come.
How many of the professors here in the English program actually recommend to their students that they come in and listen to these people?
Not enough.
Not enough.
I think, did you have Elaine Alarcon-Totten?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been the biggest supporter. She sends her students for extra credit, and not an easy extra credit. You have to write up a bunch of stuff. The English department comes out, but not so much for poetry events. And, I think it's the same problem you see with a lot of the professors where they have to get through a curriculum and they can't keep coming to this. And that's unfortunate because I think that this is an education that's beyond the classroom walls. But, I have to let people use their own judgment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alarcon-Totten. I'm adjunct here at Oxnard College. I am a preferred part-timer.
Okay, and we're going to be discussing the lecture series, new lecture series, and I was just wondering, when did you start making it a part of like an extra credit curriculum for your English class?
I've been doing it for a long, long time. I would say at least 10 years I've been doing that.
Is there a reason why you started doing it?
Well, yes, in part because I used to present. I've done about 12 presentations for the Scholar Series. And also I thought that a lot of them were really good topics, and that it was a way for the students and the community to learn more about professors here on campus, because in the classroom you don't always learn about some of their extracurricular interests. they might be academic interests, but they are maybe not being addressed in the classroom. And so I thought, well, it would be a good way for students to earn some extra points too.
Was there anything that you were hoping that, besides the extra points, that your students would take away from going to the series?
Oh yes, I think that it would help them become aware of the broader world beyond Oxnard College and their own immediate environment. They would become more aware of liberal arts, for example, and because most of the lectures deal with the liberal arts in some way or another. And to help broaden their own interests beyond the classroom, to help them find their way, so to speak, because the first 2 years of college life, you're still trying to figure out which direction to go to. Many students know what they want to do, but a lot of them do not. It takes a while to figure out what you want to do with your life.
Do you think it would help the program to maybe get the whole, like, English and arts, the two departments together, and maybe to kind of promote it, to get more people to go and check it out?
I definitely do, because we have, Shelley Savern has grants for this, and it's been a wonderful program because it brings in the community. I mean, I go to parties and there'll be somebody at the party who's not affiliated with the college, who comes regularly to the programs. And right now she's focusing on speakers who are not affiliated with OC, so she's going even far out into the community to look for enriching people who would stimulate our students. So I definitely think that it should be promoted by all the instructors.
So if you're free next semester, Wednesdays at 1, you can check out that lecture series here in the Performing Arts Building.
And Oxnard College provides a lot of activities. This next segment, by me, Kenneth Tapia, showcases some of the clubs and events Oxnard College has to offer.
Great, same to you. Take it to the island of Samoa. With Samoan, Lapa Lapa, Sawia.
I'm from the island of Samoa. I attended the Oxnard College in the fall of 2011. So after I formed the Polynesian Club, I invited whoever wants to come and join. The culture that I'm from is very family oriented, whether you're blood related or not. When you become friends, we consider you as family.
Hi, my name is Mario Robles, and I am part of the Oxnard College Polynesian Club. So I've been here for at least 3 years, and I've actually joined because it's actually a good way of culture, and pretty much I love the culture that it brings, especially when it comes to the dance. Club for at least 3 years. What other activities we do is actually we do potlucks. Also, we do practices on Saturdays around 2 o'clock over at the Cafe on A. I would say to join today and also learn your different kind of culture that you would love, and we're all one big happy family right here.
Hi, my name is Galen Shackelford. I'm a student at Oxnard College at Oxnard, California, and I'm involved because of the love of helping people understand what this campus does. I'm involved in many different clubs, and I like to manage different events and get people to recognize that this campus is full of life. All those activities I've been doing this semester has brought many students to recognize what we do and understand we're not just a go home to school.
And thank you, Lauren, for waking up and rushing out here. Hi, my name is Sonia Sapien Torres. I am 22 years old and I am an alumni from here at Oxnard College. I transferred last year, 2015. Today I came to perform for the Cinco de Mayo event they had on campus. I am here with that's a Mexica Cuauhtemoc from Ventura. We're an Aztec dance club, as well as Aztec dance club from CSUSCI, where I am currently from. I'm actually secretary from that club. We are Danza Lalo Colin. I joined the club last semester, so I've only have like a few months of actually dancing. There's a few of us that have maybe 4 to 5 months dancing with the club, and it's all about just you wanting to come and learn. You don't really need no, years of experience or anything like that. Just come with an open heart, and all of our dances are mostly emphasized on the energy that you put into the dances. So the more energy you put in and the more you open you are, the faster it is you actually pick up some of the steps, and it's an amazing experience. I welcome all of you guys to learn more about us.
Sociology Club event. This is our 7th year here at Oxnard College, mine 3rd. This is what we got donations for. And then, hi girls! And it's to better student life here at Oxnard College. Like we're here, we got the student center here for the kids, here for the piñata, and just a celebration for this sociology club.
We actually have more clubs and events. Be sure to check out our school website for more info.
Now to close out our show today, our last package goes to show that despite contrary belief, the youth of America really does have a lot to say about the political process, especially over this next election cycle. Enrique Varela's package shines light on what the Oxnard student body has to say. Let's get the scoop.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
It hasn't been an easy 8 years in office for President Obama. People around this country are frustrated with his administration and are looking for a new perspective on how this country should run. The unpredictability and spectacle that this election has brought us has highlighted the rampant feelings of mistrust towards the government. The election of 2016 will go down in the books as one of the most surreal, divisive elections in the history of this country. But now that we're deep in the midst of primary season, the remaining candidates have begun their final push towards the White House. Beyond the rhetoric and the madness spewed by some of the wannabe candidates, many of the students at Oxnard College have managed to pick out their choice for the next commander-in-chief and are eager to make their voices heard this election year. This is Mayra Cisneros, a nutrition major at Oxnard College, and she shares with us her feelings on who she wishes become next president and why.
I would probably choose Bernie Sanders. I feel like he's probably the best candidate because he's more for the people, and definitely his reforms on education and school and tuition, those are close to me because I'm a student and I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life. You know, I don't want to be paying for something. Obviously, yes, I want to be educated, but I don't think it should come with that high of a price. I think Bernie hits all the issues that I would like them to implement, mostly global warming and what we're doing to the earth. That's pretty big for me. I wish more of the candidates would touch on that. That's why I lean more, I guess, towards Bernie, because he does touch on all those subjects. He shouldn't even be on TV, that man. He really shouldn't. He's a disaster. I think it would be a disaster if he became president. I would probably move. If I could, I would. I don't know if I can, but I don't see him as, he's a fool.
Spurred on by recent endorsements and a wave of momentum, Trump has recently won a majority of the caucuses and has propelled himself as the front-running Republican nominee. His no-holds-barred style seems to have stricken a chord with some of the American public, but lately his campaign seems to have hit a snag. Recent controversies involving the two front-running Republican nominees' wives
is that there has to be some form of punishment
for the woman, and his comments about abortion have Trump reevaluating his campaign tactics. This is Kenneth Tapia, a talented film student at Oxnard College, hard at work. Though Kenneth doesn't like Trump as a candidate and wouldn't vote for him, he appreciates his tell-it-like-it-is style.
Trump is he's a very smart, articulate guy. A lot of people say he's like a clown, you know, he's very egotistical, and he pretty much because he speaks out of his ass. But I truly believe he has a chance of winning this election. He speaks his mind, he tells it how it is, and he's not afraid to push the limits. You know, he may be a bit controversial, but, you know, unlike Hillary Clinton and Barry Sanders, he'll actually let it out without fear. You know, he doesn't sugarcoat anything. What I don't like about Donald Trump is that he's just anti-immigrant. I don't know what it is that he has against immigrants, but, you know, they help a lot in this country. And he wants to ban all Muslim people, and for what? Not all Muslim people are bad. That's just what the media portrays.
Though Ken and many Americans feel strongly about Trump's say-it-like-it-is style, many also oppose his hateful rhetoric and feel that this goes against the American way. Recent violent clashes at various Trump rallies demonstrate the charge and motion this election year has brought us. And many Oxnard College students have strong opinions when it comes to the hate spewed by the millionaire. This is Danek Villatoro, another talented film student at Oxnard College, and he shares his feelings on the campaign Mr. Trump is running.
Donald Trump is kind of like a radical. He has like a lot of dangerous things he's saying, a lot of fascist things, I believe. The recession had a big effect on a lot of working class people, and people usually have or they want someone to blame for things like that, and you know, immigrants are usually an easy target for like these right-wing political nuts to attack them and to blame someone for, you know, these economic crisis that the United States is in. And you know, it's just it's all bullshit, bro, because you know, technically the big banks, you know, they destroyed the country. You know, the government, they also had a hand in it because they didn't regulate the banks, and guys in Wall Street, you know, so technically, like, rich white people destroy this country, not immigrants. But you know, the media doesn't really cover that. You know, they have their own agendas, and they want to, you know, hide this oligarchy that they have in this country, and you know, and they protect that. You know, triggered all this mess. You know, but
what would you do if Trump got elected president?
Oh man, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you know, anything's possible. But ooh, that's I think the country just be like really fucked up, bro.
Wait. It seems that there's a showdown brewing in the GOP, and they've been mostly united in the effort to derail the Trump train. Many Republican figureheads have come out of the woodworks and spoken against Donald Trump, and coupled with recent controversies, have him against the ropes. Ted Cruz has gained ground in the delegate counts to Donald Trump's dismay and displeasure, but still, he's leading, and there's rumblings in the GOP that if Trump wins the nomination, they will initiate a contested convention. But many see Hillary Clinton as the only candidate that can trump Trump from entering the White House. But lately, it would seem that Hillary is feeling the burn, as Bernie has had a string of victories, taking all the primaries in the last 3 weeks and putting pressure on Clinton. Bernie Sanders has hinted on a contested convention if his momentum keeps its pace, and even nature would seem is jumping on the Bernie bandwagon. The power of the people is undeniable, and many of Oxnard College's students will be paying close attention to their TV, computer screens, or phones, and are waiting to hear who will be the next Democratic and Republican nominees. As always, it's up to us to make our voices heard this election year and vote for the candidate that most matches our values. But beyond the rhetoric and the madness, there's a strong sense of hope and optimism from the students at Oxnard College that this country will make the right choice for the next president of the United States.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
OC
Live.
Live.